Hey there. Today we're gonna make some quarantine cookies. Gonna make these gluten-free peanut butter chocolate chip cookies. They're kind of just gonna be like a Frankenstein cookie because it's like all the best kinds of cookies mixed together. Like I'm basing it off of a peanut butter cookie recipe, but then substituting oat flour and then also adding in chocolate chips. It's gonna be a great time. Also making it this way means that we can eat the dough raw. They're also vegan, so there's no egg, no flour, nothing like dangerous to eat raw, which is excellent. So let's get into it. If you want to follow along, then go preheat your oven to 350 degrees and let's get started. Yeah, we're gonna make cookies. So to start off with, we're gonna prep our flax egg and kind of set that aside for later. If you're new to vegan baking, it's just 1 tablespoon of flax seeds and 3 tablespoons of water, and it works as an egg substitute. Then I'm going to make my own oat flour by blending up just 2 cups of old-fashioned rolled oats. Pretty easy in the food processor. It just turns into its own flour. And it's gluten-free, and so that's cool. Also, you can eat it raw. Then adding to the dry ingredients, half a teaspoon of baking soda, 1/4 teaspoon salt, classic. Just kind of blend that up a bit. And then we're going to set that aside and start dealing with the wet ingredients. However, I realized that my bowl for my stand mixer was in the dishwasher and I was way too lazy to get that thing out and wash it by hand. So I decided to just, combine everything in the food processor, which was kind of a mistake, but I just put a stick of butter in there, kind of blended that around, which was a bit problematic at times, but eventually I kind of got it to work. It'll do. Means I don't have to wash a bowl. But then I just need to add some sugar. But then we were out of brown sugar for the most part, so we did the little brown sugar we had and then did the rest with white sugar and some maple syrup to kind of give it the brown sugarness, because that makes sense. If I had molasses, that would have been better than the maple syrup, because really brown sugar is just molasses and regular sugar. The more you know. And then we decided to use a combination of powdered peanut butter and almond butter. You can kind of do whatever as long as you have 3/4 of a cup of some sort of nut butter of your choice. Whatever you want to do. We just like using powdered peanut butter, and the taste of almond butter is amazing, so we just combined them. Then continuing just to blend up all these wet ingredients, and they're creaming together very well. It's a very soft mixture. Adding in some vanilla, adding in that flax egg from earlier. But this is where I realized things were probably going to be problematic because it was way soft. Even adding the dry ingredients back in, it was still more of a batter than a dough, if that makes sense. But I didn't feel like refrigerating it or doing anything to offset that. I just wanted cookies. So I was like, you know what? It's quarantine. Whatever. Got some sugar out to roll the batter in, and then added on some semi-sweet chocolate chips. These ones that we find at our grocery store happen to be accidentally vegan, which is fantastic. And then you just roll little lumps of the dough, like a spoonful of it, in the sugar. That's kind of how peanut butter cookies normally go, if you've ever made those before, And then you just stick it in the oven for 12 minutes. But then we extended it, I think, to 16 eventually. And we decided for the next round to kind of add in some more oats because it was definitely going to be problematic. I could already tell. My spidey senses were tingling. So added in some more just plain rolled oats, not even floured, just to try to thicken it up a bit. Probably would have been better to, make more flour and add to it, but didn't feel like doing that. So then we just put those straight on the cookie sheet without putting sugar on them. And you'll kind of see the differences in texture in a second of how these two turned out. So just spoon all those out and then, pop those boys in the oven. Oh yeah, see how much those are spreading? That's problematic. Probably could have chilled the dough and saved ourselves from that, but oh well. So the first round came out super crispy, very light. And the ones that we added more oats to and didn't roll in sugar were a little softer, darker in color, surprisingly, and kept a little more thickness. So they were a slightly more chewier cookie, kind of like a normal oatmeal cookie, whereas the ones, the first round was, much crispier. but pretty nice. Yeah, pretty nice. So I gotta say, these cookies spread a lot more than I was anticipating. But I think that's because we use the food processor to blend everything together. And so it didn't even really turn into a cookie dough. It was more like a cookie batter. So it spread a lot, and they're like super crispy. But they're tasty. So honestly, these are going to be pretty good quarantine cookies because like I think they'll be really nice for the mornings with coffee and just like dipping them. Normally, I really like soft, chewy cookies. These are definitely more like crispy. And the ones that we mixed more oats into remind me, like they're a bit softer. So would recommend that. Also, I think refrigerating the batter slash dough would have probably helped a little bit, as well as like, yeah, adding more substance, so more of the ground oat stuff. I wasn't following an exact recipe with this. I was making a lot of substitutions, but I think it turned out pretty good. Like, not gonna lie, like I'm not mad about like a big crispy cookie.
Big crisp.
It's just a perfect blend of peanut and like the hardiness of the oat and the chocolate chips. It just, honestly, it's a great cookie. I am satisfied. So I hope you enjoyed this. This is just like a fun cooking adventure. I've had some people say that they enjoy watching me make stuff in the kitchen. And obviously I'm doing a lot of that in quarantine. So hope you like this video. If you did, you know what to do. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe, all the good things. Maybe I'll make more of these. Okay, go drink some water. Bye.